Hi everyone, today we have a legs and bum workout. So what we're going to need for today is a mini band. So I've got a red one, which is thin and stretchy, and then I've got this green one, which is thicker. So this will be a lot tougher depending on the strength of your band. This one's a heavy one, I think. So whichever one you've got, they will both work, which is perfect. And then you need a set of heavy dumbbells. So you can have just one heavy one. I've got a 15 and a 10 with me today. So we're going pretty heavy for today's workout. We're going to start off first with our warm up. So join along with me and we'll get you a good workout today. So we're going to start off on all fours onto our mat. If you do need shoes on, then go ahead and wear some shoes. I'm going to start off on all fours. So we're just going to start off with a cat cow. So we're going to take a breath in as you dip your belly, look up towards the ceiling, and then breathe out as you round your back up towards the sky. So I'm just going to continue. Just going in your own time. Just creating that movement in your spine. One more. And then from there, come into a neutral position. You're going to bring your foot towards your hand. You're going to reach your arm up towards the ceiling and then lower and then just swap over sides. So if you prefer, you can stay just on one side. But I think if we can get as much movement going as possible for our workout, this is already going to start to warm us up really quickly. So keep going side to side. One more on each side. Lovely. And then from there, we might as well keep this leg forward. We're just going to push our knee forward over our toe, and then we're going to pull back. So if your flexibility is not the same as mine, you just go to where you feel comfortable going. Of course, you can use your hands on the floor to stable yourself. You'll be falling over, so just do what feels good for your body today. Lovely. And then we'll swap over sides when you're ready. Other leg forward, your knee forward, pull back. Remember that both sides might not be even. This side's tighter on me today. So just going with what feels good in your body. Not forcing anything. So from there, we're going to come and lie down on our back. So make sure you've got your band handy. I'm going to just checking you can see me. Yeah, so we're just going to start off by taking our feet as wide as the mat. Drop your knees from side to side. So it's just going to warm up into our hips and release our hip flexors. So the muscles are running down the front of your hips there. And then you're going to come back to the middle, feet underneath your knees, and then press up into a bridge. You're going to lift up, squeeze your bum. Hopefully, you shouldn't feel any kind of pain in doing this movement. If you do, then maybe just adjust your feet. If you know you've got a tight lower back, you can always have your feet a bit wider. So just see how it feels for you today. Lovely. Now we're going to add our band. So grab your band. You can sit up to do this. I'm just going to pop it just above my knees. I'm going to press my knees out into the band. I'm going to come back into our bridge. So hopefully you can feel this is a lot more intense than without the band. Of course, if you don't have a band, you can still join in this whole workout. It's absolutely fine. Just use whatever equipment you have or just use body weight. That is all good. Now we're going to sit ourselves up. Keep the band on. Just going to come up onto our toes. We're going to lean forward and then press your knees out into this band. So this one is a really tight band, so my knees aren't going out very far. This is working into your glute medius, which is the muscle on the side. Hopefully you'll begin to feel that in just a few moments. We're going to come into a clam. So we're going to lie down on our side. Head just resting on that arm, feet together, feet roughly in line with your bum and the back side of your body, and you're going to lift and lower that top knee. Excuse me. I feel my glute medius working now. We're going to stop over sides. Resting your head down on your arm again, feet in line with your bum, and then lift and lower that top knee. We're going for about 10 of each exercise. Lovely. And then from there, we're going to go on to all fours. So, we're just going to make sure that our knees are underneath our hips and our shoulders are above our wrists. We're going to take one leg back behind us into a dog. It's nice and slow. Your kneeling leg, you want to keep in a nice upright position so that you're not leaning over to the side at all. And then swap over sides. So you're going to take the other leg back behind you. So again, we're going for about 10. Breathing. And if you can't quite manage 10, you are really new to exercise and find this tough, just go to wherever you can. Sorry, so next we're going into some fire hydrants. So we're taking our knee out to the side. Again, it's really important that this kneeling leg is not leaning out. So you don't want to be leaning over to the right side at all as you take your left leg out. Try and keep an eye on it, make sure it stays stable. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So this band is really tight and is not allowing my leg to come out very far at all. But if you've got a looser band, you'll be able to come out a bit more, or if you've got body weight. Lovely. I am going to swap my band just so I can show you what the other one will look like. Not being a wimp, I promise. So, with a slightly narrower band, it's just making sure it doesn't ride up. So we're going to go back through those again. We're going to take our donkey kicks back. So my leg is a lot freer to move out now. Still feel my muscles working as I go. You might feel my glute medius on my right side is a stabilizing muscle, so I can feel it stabilizing as I kick back with the other leg. We want to get those glute mediuses really strong because they stay stable, they keep you stable, which we want in everyday life. They help you have really strong glutes, which is powerful for everything, and also they give that roundness to your bum. So if you want a good bum, you want to work your glute medius. Done those 10, so we're going to go into the fire hydrants now. So my leg is a lot freer to go up higher this time. So harder band is not always better. Just go with what feels right for you at the time. And then other side. My watches just said, move. I am. Fabulous. Right, so from there, we're going to take our bands off. Actually, no, we're not going to leave it on. So we're going to come into some monster walks now. So we're going to take our knees out into the band. Then we're going to take some walks side to side along our mat. So we're just going to keep our feet and knees in line as we walk along our mat. So what we don't want to do is take your foot really wide and your knee comes in. So we just want to keep pressing our knees out as we go across our mat. A few more. I don't know why I'm making these fingers. It's just something I always do. You might find that you're doing something similar. Lovely. Come back to the middle. And then we're just going to take our band off. Your glutes are feeling nice and warm now. So one thing I know we are doing a leg workout, but we're just going to warm into our shoulders a little because we're going to be holding on to the dumbbells. So we're going to take our band around. If you don't have a band, you can just do these. Anyway, so we're just going to reach our shoulders up. I'm pressing my arms out into the band. A few more. Fabulous. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling nice and warm. We're going to get into our workout. Our first 2 rounds are going to be body weight only, so don't need your dumbbells yet. Feel free to grab a drink, manage yourself to the side. I'll be back, and then we will get going. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to start off with some squats. We're going to go for 10. Just keep it 10. 10s is a good number. All right, so we're going to sink, if I come to the side, we're going to sink our hips down. So we want to stay parallel or just below our knees. And then when we come up, just being careful not to hyperextend. We don't want to push our bum forward. We're just going to squeeze that bum at the top so we stay nice and stable. That's 8. We've got 2 more. Lovely. And then from there, might as well stay side facing. We're going to come into a lunge, a reverse lunge. I find these are a lot easier for most people. We're going to take our knee to the floor and then swap over. So we're going to go for 10 each side. And with a reverse lunge, you don't have to step back too far. And the other thing to point is to come into a train track rather than a tightrope. So you don't want your feet to be too close together as you come into your lunge. We've got 2 more on each leg. Lovely. Okay, and then the next one that we're going to do is a single leg RDL, so a Romanian deadlift, which is a straight leg deadlift. So we're going to keep one foot on the floor. I'm going to keep my left leg on the floor as I take my other leg back behind me. So I'm just going to take my leg into this nice straight position. So you might find if your balance is not great today, you might wobble all over the place, and that is fine. We're keeping our shoulders back nice and straight. Just a soft bend in your knee so you're not locking out. Lovely. And swap over sides. So right foot on the floor this time, left leg goes back. So hopefully notice that my knee is not locking out and keeping it soft. So I don't want my knee to stay dead straight as I come forwards. There's 10 each side. Give yourself a little breather. Hopefully you're getting out of breath. Then we'll go around again. Okay. Ready? Let's go to 10 squats. So we're going to take our feet just outside our hips. We're going to come on down into those squats. 3 more. And then our lunges. I'll just turn to the side again. It's much easier. So left leg back, knee comes down to the floor. If you can't make it all the way down, just go to where you can. That's absolutely fine. Okay, this is 10. And another side. Again, with your arms wherever they naturally go. You can have your hands on your hips or across your chest or whatever. Okay, and then we'll come into our RDL. So we're going to have left leg on the floor, right leg comes back. Into a balance, nice straight body. Wobble, all good. You can take these a bit slower as well if you like. Might find it easier to balance. Okay, that's 10. And other side. Ready? Lovely. So these are great for working your hamstrings, your bum. You add in a weight, which we will do later. And they're really great at working all of your core muscles in your back. One more. Lovely. And have a little rest. Oh, feel free to grab a drink. I'm going to do the same. It's warm in here today. Lovely. I'll just be back with you in one sec. Okay. The other optional thing that we have is a chair or a bench. We've actually got a chair here, so if you want to grab one of those now, you can use the sofa, or if you haven't got anything that you can rest on, just keep your feet on the floor. It's for some bridges, so you can elevate them. That's an option. And then we're going to start off with our weights. So we are going to do some squats with the weight. I'm going to go for the slightly lighter one, my 10 kilo dumbbell. We're going to hold it in a goblet fashion. So I'm going to keep the dumbbell resting against my chest. If I'm doing a squat and I push the dumbbell away, it's going to make my chest collapse forward. So what we want is, of course, we're going to come forward with our chest as we squat down, but we want to be in this position, keeping your chest as upright as possible. I don't want to be here. Can you see now how my back's rounded? I've completely lost it. And the dumbbell has to come away. So we want to keep the dumbbell pressing into our chest, and then we're going to come down to that same position. I always find like if my elbows touch my knees, or just above my knees, generally I've got a good position. Aiming for 10 again. 2 more. That's 10. Okay, next one we're going to do is a sumo deadlift. So I'm going to go for my heavier weight now. So we're going to just hold on to the dumbbell with both our arms. Our legs are going to be nice and wide. So from here, I'm going to take this wide-legged position. My knees are going to come out to the sides. Hands are just going to hold on to the dumbbell. I just stand up. So my back's staying straight. My shoulders are staying back. Sorry about my ankle clicking. We've got 4 more. They're a great exercise for your glutes and hamstrings again. Lovely, that's 10. Okay, so we're going to do a weighted bridge. I'm going to stick with my heavier dumbbell. We're going to come down to the floor. Watch your toes. And then we're going to place the dumbbell on your lap. So, just like this. Lie down, feet underneath your knees as well. And then you're going to lift your hips up. Keep hold of the dumbbell so that it doesn't roll up your chest. And squeeze your bum at the top. Aiming for 10, so 4 more. Lovely. And then you're just going to roll to the side. Dumbbell comes off and then come off when you're ready. Fab. So 3 more, not 3 more rounds, twice more, those 3 exercises. Starting with those squats. So dumbbells nice and close to your chest, feet outside your hips. Let's go. Nice 10 squats. So of course you can have some music on if you want to do this along to music. Nice, nice. 3 more squats. I'm sure you're doing a very nice job. Lovely, that's it. So from there, I'm going to come into our sumo deadlift. Have a breather. And then we're come in when we're ready. So feet nice and wide, shoulders back, back nice and straight. Up we go. So holding the dumbbell this way makes it a short exercise. I really like to do these. And normally, if I've got an even heavier dumbbell or kettlebell, I will use them. I don't at home today. If you're getting out of breath and a bit sweaty like me, 10. Lovely. And then into our bridge. We're just going to pop that out the way. Come on down. And then we're resting on my thighs. Roll down into this position. I'm going to lift up and squeeze. Definitely lost count, so I'm going to do 3 more. Lovely. Round 2 is done. Fab. So now we're going to do a mixture of dumbbell and body weight. So we're going to start off with our feet elevated bridge on the chair, or if you have to do them from the floor, that's absolutely fine. Just grab my chair. So what I'm going to do is press into my heels to lift my hips up. So from here, my heels are going to press in, so that's really going to work my hamstrings. Elbows just slightly resting on the floor. I'm going to go for 10. So if you are at home without a chair or anything, you're going to do your bridges with your heels pressing into the floor with your toes off. And that'll be the same movement there. Lovely. That's 10. You can feel that for sure. Right, I'm just going to move my chair out of the way. I'm going to grab hold of my dumbbell. Again, I'm going to go for my 10 this time. We're going to do that RDL, this time with a dumbbell. So you can hold it with both hands, and that's absolutely fine. Or if you want to, the single arm. So I'm going to do single arm. It's going to be opposite to the foot that's leaving the floor. So my left hand has got the dumbbell. My right leg is going to go behind me. I'm going to reach down only as far as I can go before I feel my hamstring stretch. I do not want my shoulder to bring forward. So if I show you this way, my shoulder is staying back. I'm not reaching it forwards towards the floor, okay? So let's start at 10. The dumbbell is going to stay as close to your body as it can. You're going to aim for the middle of your foot. It always helps to find a point to gaze at on the floor when you're balancing. Fab. And if you, so this is 10 for me. If you carried on and you finished at your 10, that is absolutely fine. So I'm swapping over now. So the dumbbell is in my right hand, my left leg going back behind me. Keep my shoulder back. I've got 3 left. Another thing to point out, sometimes people get what they think is lower back pain doing these, and it's actually your glutes working, which is something people might not be used to. So if you do get pain across here, probably your glutes, but if you are worried, drop the weight, that's okay. And our last exercise we're going to do is a lunge again. We're going to have the dumbbell this time, so we're going to hold it again to our chest, reverse lunges. So we're going to alternate. Drop your knee towards the floor. Okay, it's halfway through. Definitely feel my legs working now. Lovely. 1 more on each side. Okay, so give yourself a moment, have a breath. Okay, so we come back to our elevated squats or heels on the floor, toes up if you don't have a chair. So last 10, you're going to press through those heels to lift on up. And just so now I'm breathing, I know my breathing is getting heavier now. So just keep breathing Don't worry too much about where you're breathing. But I do say if you're lifting heavy, breathe out on the effort. So if that helps, go for that. That's our 10. Going to go back to our RDLs now. So dumbbell in the opposite hand. So my right leg will go back. I'm going to just reach as far as I can before my hamstrings feel like they're working. I'm not going to reach all the way to the floor unless my hamstrings are super loose. I can do so without reaching my shoulder down first. That's 10, so I'm going to swap over hands, set myself up, and then off we go. So that gaze, that point on the floor to help you stay balanced. We've got 2 more. And then lastly, that set of reverse lunges. So alternating legs, knee down to the floor if you can. We're very nearly there. So last few moments. And I've lost count again. Let's go this 10. 10 more. Lovely, so keeping that chest upright. It's okay to lean forward a little. Just don't want to lose that dumbbell, let it drag you down. And last one. Oh, lovely. We're done. So, a nice little bonus. We're just going to do a couple of core exercises. Grab your drink, and then when we come back, we'll just have 2 exercises twice. Okay, lovely. So come on down to your mat. Gonna move the chair away. Come on down. Feel free to hug your knees. Always nice to do that after working out hard. Okay, so we're gonna come into a dead bug. I'm just gonna wiggle down my mat so you can see better. So we want to keep our tailbone tucked under. That way our lower back will be pressing into the mat the whole time. And then you can keep your core working. What we don't want to do is for your back to arch and your abs to not be working. So we want to keep our rib cage tucked and tailbone tucked under. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Some people hate these because they're like, can't do it right. So we'll do left foot and right hand go back. And you're going to keep yourself in this nice straight line. Come back in, and then other side. So left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. Nice and gentle. So with these, if you are fairly recently postpartum, I would maybe check and see how your core's feeling. You can always do the leg higher, or just do one at a time. So you can maybe just take one arm and one leg. Just check that you can keep that engagement, because what you don't want to do is cause any pain. If your core's all good, it should be fairly easy for most people to do. I have not counted, so we do 2 more each side. Lovely. And the next one we're going to do super gentle core exercise, which I love, very effective though. We're just going to do leg slides. So we're going to take a breath in as we slide our leg away, and then as we come back, we're going to breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In, breathe out. The reason I put my fingers on my hip points is just to make sure that I'm staying nice and stable. This is a brilliant pelvic floor exercise working at engaging your lower core, so it doesn't feel like it's doing a lot, but it is doing wonders without having to do crunches, which I really don't like for anyone, to be honest. Um, so nice gentle core activation. One more each side. Lovely. Give yourself a moment. If you would like, you can take your feet together, knees out. Just give yourself a moment just to let your hip flexors release. And then we'll go back into our dead bug. So just making sure that you've got that tailbone tucked under, ribs pulling down, core engaged. And then we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. And if you are one of those people that this is not hardcore enough, you can do both arms and legs at the same time. Just keep your core engaged. Don't let that rib cage flare out. If you feel like you cannot keep it, just go back. I always think with your core, slow and steady wins the race. Making sure everything working properly is always going to give you a better core in the long run. Forcing it to do positions it's not ready for and ending up with the belly sticking out instead of in, which is where you want it to go. And I will do more core exercises so I can explain more. So you'll have to stay tuned. Do one more side. And then we'll go back into our leg side. So feet on the floor, hands on your hips if you like. Take a breath in. So breathing out on the way back, so that's going to engage our pelvic floor. Our ribs engaged as well. You can do these a bit slower as well. So if you find that you're not able to stay stable, slow it down. Last one on this side. And then we'll come into our butterfly position, feet together, knees out. Take a moment. And now we've come to the best part. We're just going to finish off with some lovely stretches. We're going to stay on our backs for a figure 4 stretch, which is going to be great for our hips and glutes. So we're going to take our right leg across our left, put your left leg in towards you. And if you cannot do this without then just leave your leg down on the floor. I don't want you to be uncomfortable here. Shoulders should be nicely relaxed, foot flexed. Look after your knee, and then I always like to rock from side to side. And then we're just going to swap over sides. So left leg across your right, foot flexed, reaching, grab hold of the back of your thigh. Remember, if your shoulders can't stay relaxed, you can just keep your feet on the floor. You can feel that your heart rate's come down now. Might be nicely sweaty and I need a shower. I know I am. But this is a feel good bit afterwards. Lovely. Come on to all fours. And then from there, we're just going to bring our right foot forward to come into this lizard pose. So I'm taking my left leg back behind me, and then I'm just letting my body sink down. So this is great for your hips and adductors. And after you've been in it a while and you feel that your body's relaxed, you can maybe push your knee away, just stretch into your adductors a bit more. I really like to wiggle when I come into this pose. Let my body know it's okay to relax and release. and then from there I'm just going to walk this foot over and come into pigeon. So my leg's going to go all the way to the other side. Now you can keep your foot out in line with your knee, or just let it come in. I think I prefer to let mine come in because otherwise it's putting a lot of strain on your knee, which you really don't want. Continue rocking side to side, or I can stay still, whichever feels good for you in these stretches. Lovely deep breaths. We're going to come back up to all fours. Lizard on the other side, so your foot will go outside of your hands. And then rock from side to side if that feels good. Press that knee away. Walk your foot over to the other side to the right, drop your knee, and then come on down into your lizard. And then bring your leg around, come into your comfortable seated position. We are done. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.